So, the injuries, we have three zones to talk about. One is your biceps. One is this corner, which is called which is part of a structure called the labrum, and then your rotator cuff. So the biceps is torn completely from its attachment point and sits lower down, and that's why your arm looks like what it does. The slap has gotten injured because in the process of tearing the biceps, it pulled on the whole thing since there used to be all one glommed together piece.
Is that why I'm feeling the pain up at the top?
It's below what you can touch because you have this bony shield here.
Yeah.
It's underneath that.
Okay.
So you won't be able to touch it.
Right.
Okay. But a slap tear is usually painful if the biceps is still connected. But since your biceps is no longer connected, it's not as a aggravating injury than what it could be. Okay. In actuality, this we would just leave alone because the biceps is not connected to it anymore.
Okay.
Now we go to the rotator cuff. Normally the attachment is solid against bone here, but you have a tiny partial tear about there, which they measured at I think it's 4 millimeters. No, 3 millimeters. Just a 3 millimeter sort of peel off the bone right there, which is termed a partial rotator cuff tear. At 3 millimeters, you are not required to have any surgical procedure. It can be a little bit more stubborn, which is why you might have the residual symptoms. But this is non-surgical until proven otherwise. Because for most people, at 3 millimeters, eventually, 3 millimeters is smaller than the diameter of a pencil eraser. So then for something that small, it typically has a chance to stabilize by itself and the pain goes away and your function comes back. The only other thing, which is only from wear and tear, not necessarily from this injury, is the tendon itself has gone through some wear and tear. That's probably because you used it all your life.
Yeah.
So, and that's your injury.
So are you saying I probably don't need to have surgery?
Correct. This is non-operative therapy exercises until the shoulder says it will not turn the corner, no matter what.
So therapy can get me back, can get that. You said I've lost like 15% of strength. I remember you saying
So the 15% strength difference has to do with the biceps tear. Now that will be because the biceps is torn. But when we first met, the likelihood that that's going to impact what you do because of the type of movements was very questionable.
Okay.
And seeing as how you've been able to play,
Yeah.
I think it's even more questionable.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is exercises, no surgery, and statistically, your shoulder will stabilize and feel good again, with the exception of a cosmetic change. It would have to take months of persistent, unrelenting pain to suggest that this is not going to work out.
Okay, so I am feeling pain every morning now. Because it's a little colder now, that might have something to do with it. But I do, if I go this motion, scratching the back, or if I reach up, like behind me, I feel it. And so, okay, well, I guess I can stop recording. Is there anything else that you need to say that is very wise?
Yes, the hint from what you just showed me is that you're developing a very subtle amount of stiffness for rotation.
Okay.
If your shoulder gets stiff because, unconsciously you're guarding it because it hurts a little, you're going to hate the stiffness more than the original injury.
Okay.
Because that could be 4 months of therapy and fighting and fighting and fighting and actually have an impact on your playing. So working on range of motion now to make sure you don't get stiff is tremendously important.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.